Hello, everybody. My name is JoJo, amateur historian, professional storyteller, and monumental yapper, and I hope you guys are all doing well today. This will probably be the last video I do on any kind of video game related stuff, unless there's like a game that just completely and utterly grasps me by the balls and forces me into a position where I feel like I have to talk about it. But, I guess I should start off with a little bit of history for myself regarding games in general. I don't like PvP games. It's not that I think PvP games are bad, or that, they're badly designed, or that even the concept is bad. And I will admit that when I was growing up, a lot of fun that I used to have used to be getting on with my friends and playing against other players. And honestly, I wasn't bad at PvP games growing up. I was in quite high in the leaderboards in Halo and Gears of War when I played those. I used to be legitimately one of the top 10 players. I think I peaked top 3 on the NA leaderboard in a game called Rumble Fighter way back in the day. I'm talking way like when I was like 14 or so. I'm going to be 33 this year. That just tells you how long ago this was. So way back in the day, I peaked top 3 in a game called Rumble Fighter. When I started playing Overwatch, I was never really high ranked, but I was able to coach people into high ranks because like I've said multiple times in the past, I just didn't really care about my rank back then. I used to play an MMO called Elsword. In the PvP section, I was the highest rank that you could possibly be, multiple seasons. So in general, I used to be pretty good at them. Nowadays, I'm kind of bad. It kind of sucks. And the thing is that PvP games, no matter which ones you're playing, typically require you to have like very high mechanical skill. And mechanics is more than just aiming. I'm a pretty halfway decent aimer, but it's movement. It's in like a game like Overwatch, for example, your mechanics on, say, Mercy don't have to do with aiming, but it has to do with how well you can move with her. You can super jump, you can do all this other stuff. On a character like, Spider-Man, your mechanics are your combos. How well can you execute your combos? How well can you do that? And that's in Marvel Rivals, obviously. There's just so many different things that you're required to learn to be good at games, and I just don't know if I have that kind of patience anymore. Here's the reality. When I was growing up, I wanted to be good at video games because that's what my friends wanted. And when I became a streamer, back when I used to play Apex Legends, I wanted to be good at the video game because that's what other streamers were doing. The reason that I was so good at Dead by Daylight and why I was able to consistently make good content around it is because the game didn't require a lot of mechanics unless you were playing very specific killers. Most of the game was just strategy and understanding interactions, and for me, that's my bread and butter. That's why TCG games are the games that I'm actually best at, because if it's just strategy, if there's no mechanics involved, I'm pretty damn good. I hate to toot my own horn and sound like an arrogant dick, but that's what it is. But I was recently streaming Marvel Rivals, I think last week, and we won a few games, lost a couple. It's your basic stuff. And I was learning it, and after one match, I sat back and I out loud told chat, guys, I'm not having fun anymore. And I rated out and I sat down for a while and I just thought about it. I got up, I went to one of my favorite coffee shops. There's 2 in town that I like. One has brownies, the other doesn't. If the one that doesn't have brownies had brownies, it'd be my favorite. But I went to one of my favorite coffee shops, got myself it's called a Piano Man. It's a mocha and white chocolate iced latte. Pretty good. Pretty good. Got my little espresso brownie, sat down with my book, and I was about halfway through the chapter I was reading. And then I just put my book down and I leaned back on the couch. I listened to the smooth jazz that was playing, finished the other half of my brownie, finished my drink, and then I drove out to the river. And I sat by the river. It was a pretty day. I thought some more. And basically, the culmination of all this thinking that I was doing led to me realizing that I just simply don't enjoy PvP games anymore. I will still play something like Hearthstone because, again, it's a TCG, doesn't require a lot of mechanics. But generally speaking, I just don't like fighting that much to be better than my opponent. I'm good enough at video games that if you put me in a game that has a pretty steep difficulty curve, I could probably get around it, right? Like, I famously don't like Elden Ring. It's not because Elden Ring it's too hard, it's just because I simply don't like the way the game is designed. But if I put my mind to it, I could beat Elden Ring. It's not a problem. But constantly having to fight against other people just isn't doing it for me anymore. I don't like constantly having to try to be better than my opponents. I don't like it whenever I am better than my opponents and I still lose. I don't like it whenever I know that I can do better than what I'm currently doing and I can't figure out why I'm not getting to that. It's stressful. It's stressful. I still maintain that Overwatch is in the best state that it's ever been in. I still maintain that Marvel Rivals is pretty good. I haven't touched Apex Legends in a while, but when I started it, it was pretty good. I still maintain that Deadlock is one of the most well-designed PvP games of all time. But I simply can't have fun playing PvP games anymore because I'm tired of fighting with everybody else in the world to be the best at them. And when I'm streaming, that's the forefront thing on my mind. How can I get better? How can I improve? And I don't want to do that all the fucking time. I don't want to constantly be fighting to get better at the game that I'm playing. Sometimes I just want to play it, but I can't help that thought. I can't help that idea. Even with the game I'm going to talk about in a little bit, there was a section where I started optimizing the best way to get through the collection system as fast as possible, and I had to physically stop myself from doing it. I'll talk about it more in a little bit, but the point is that I was just tired. So I came home and I turned stream back on and I started playing Age of Empires. That was my, that was my relaxing game. That was one of my favorite games growing up as a kid, Age of Empires 2. It was the game that I played in a dark room with my favorite country artists on the stereo and a big bowl of popcorn on the weekends. That was my weekends. That was my weekend night video games. And then one of my chatters brought me Diablo 2 and we played that for a while and that was really fun. And I liked doing Diablo 2. And then on a whim, I decided to pick up a game called Piece by Piece. It is a cozy game on Steam where you take over your grandfather's repair shop and you fix and clean up and paint things that people bring you. And every once in a while, you get brought something from a customer that they don't want, and then you paint it and fix it and you sell it. And then you use all those acorns to restock your wood, your firewood, your cookie dough. You use it to plant berries to get more paint. You use those acorns to buy decorations for your shop. And that's pretty much it. There's a rock, paper, scissors contest in there somewhere, but it's pretty easy. Generally speaking, when I played Piece by Piece, I felt, ironically, at peace. I felt something that I haven't felt while gaming in a long time. Happiness. I'm not saying that PvP games piss me off, or that, I was never content when playing them. I was very content most of the time, but I don't think I've felt happy playing a game in a long time. And as I was playing through it, we played for I think 4 hours or so. As I was playing through Piece by Piece, I genuinely just, God, everything felt better. All my problems, outside of the video game sphere, outside of the green screens that are behind me in my little makeshift studio here, everything was still there. I still have real life problems that I'm not going to get into right now that I got to deal with. But for those moments, everything else melted away. So I reached out to some of my fellow content creators. I reached out to quite a few people who I know who actively, massively enjoy cozy games. And I even got to talk to a big creator whose entire personality is around cozy games. And every single one of them basically told me the same thing. The idea of a game where there's no fail states, there's no game over, there's no, oh my god, I gotta get better than everybody else, or even just, I have to overcome this massive challenge. The idea that you can just sit down and play a game is attractive to these people. And it was never attractive to me. I like fail states. I like challenges. I like pushing myself to be better. I like strategy. That's why Age of Empires 2 is one of my favorite video games of all time. But also, I like video games to make me happy. And Piece by Piece did that. And unironically, it taught me a little bit about something. It taught me that no matter how broken something is, you can always put it back together. Now, that's not realistically true. If you shatter this phone into 1,000 pieces, it'll probably not be repairable, but I think it talks more to my mental and emotional state. I like cozy games. I love the feeling that Piece by Piece gave me, and I'm going to be looking out to buy more cozy games. More games that don't have fail states or super hard challenges, that are just about maintaining an everyday life. Because I like playing those. It gives me time to have a conversation with my chat. I don't have to super hard lock in and ignore what's going on over here. It gives me opportunities to make a lot of fun jokes. Here's just a small sample of some of the jokes that I was able to make while playing this game. It was really fun. You look kind of like the legend of BFB. Did James just call me a big fucking bitch? Or a big fat bitch? Is James trying to throw hands? Let's do it, Grandpa. Let's put up this fucking sign, bro. I'm so fucking pumped. That is 100% like 3 times bigger than the fucking thing that I just worked on. We gave that fucking sign a Mario mushroom in the transition, chat. I'm Cotton, Lily's older brother. Heard you beat her at BFB. Yeah, I beat that little bitch. That's not right. She's a child, chat. I shouldn't call her a bitch. I beat that little tiny girl. Wait. Rolling, they hatin'. Patrolling, they try to catch me riding dirty. Try to catch me riding dirty. Try to catch me riding dirty. Dude, I love this game already, dude. I love this game, bro. Maybe I should stop just remembering and actually do something about it. Go, Amy! Find your true love! I believe in you! For I am just a humble repair shopkeeper. Are you implying that my tool is broken? I will have you know that I take Viagra and it works perfectly now. Oh my god, chat, I'm gonna cry. Wait, Rosie brought a bear umbrella and broke it because she was excited to show Charlie. And then Charlie brought a chicken umbrella and then broke it because he was excited to show Rosie. No, that's so cute. Bro, chat, oh my god, dude. I love this game. This is the best $11 I've ever spent in my entire life. This is the best 11 bucks I've ever spent in my entire life, chat. Overall, the point of me making this video is twofold. Number one is to let everybody who ever followed for a PvP game know I'm not doing it anymore. And I never will. Again. Overwatch, Deadlock, Hearthstone, Dead by Daylight, Apex Legends. I'm never, ever making content around those. Will I play them? Maybe. But when I say content, I mean all content. I'm never going to stream them again. I'm never going to make YouTube videos about them again. I just won't. When I do stream, I will be playing cozy games and sometimes story-driven games. And I don't care if I get stuck at 3 viewers a stream and this YouTube channel plummets into the earth. Because at the end of the day, these are just hobbies for me. I stick by what I said, where I will never be a full-time content creator ever again. Because I simply refuse to rely on other people for my money. And right now, every single YouTube and Twitch paycheck is nothing more than basically donations toward my goal of opening a bookstore someday. That's it. That's all they are. They're nothing more. And that's how I want to keep it. So if I get low viewership, I get low viewership. Number 2, going forward, this channel is nothing more than almost a video diary of my thoughts. I will be doing, if I find a historical person that I find interesting, like right now I'm researching Diogenes, then fine. If I watch a TV show or a movie that I think is really cool, then we'll talk about it. If there's a social issue that I want to go over, then we'll talk about it. But in general, I am not stressing myself anymore. I came back and I started making the content that I want to make, and this is just another shift in that goal. Because at the end of the day, this is always going to be a channel where I make what I want to make. I wanted to make Overwatch content for a while. Now I don't. That's what it is. But I will never go back to PvP or gaming content again, because it's just far too stressful. Anyway, I've been yapping for about 16 minutes, so hopefully you guys are okay with that. But as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members who are further helping me toward that goal of opening my own bookstore someday. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, mission discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.